Hello, all you wonderful music students out there of Notre Dame Collegiate. This is your friendly neighborhood flappy man coming at you. Whatever. And I'm here to talk to you guys briefly about Bandlab and the fact that we use it for practice purposes in our class, but we also use it for assessment purposes. So if you wanted to practice to any of the pieces of music that we're doing in band, you can use Bandlab for that. Or if you have a playing assessment that you need to do for me, such as a scale or something along those lines, then you can also do that in Bandlab. And so here we go. I'm going to give you a quick little demo as to what that kind of sort of looks like. So once you've gotten into Bandlab for the first time, I am actually going to go back one more step. Once you've gotten into Bandlab for the first time, which you do that by way of either Opus or by way of Google Classroom, just go there and you find the link for Bandlab and it'll take you to the right class. Once you've gotten into Bandlab, this is going to be the first thing you see. So I'm kind of giving you an exemplar of a grade 7's band classroom in Bandlab. They have classrooms just like Google Classroom does. And so we're going to click into one of these classes right now, this grade 7 class. You might have like 7 classes down the list, but this person only has one. And you'll see a list of all of the different things that we're doing in band as with practice tools that you can use at home. So, for example, they're playing a piece called Renaissance Fair, and they can either click on that lovely little SoundCloud link. Let's see how that kind of... I'm going to turn this music down just a little bit here so you can hear what it would sound like. So this is Renaissance Fair. Woo! Really, really, really loudly. But that is one way that you can practice. Put your headphones on, practice with your instrument by listening to that. Pull that volume down a little bit so that I can show you the hexachords. So I'm going to click into that lovely little concert B flat hexachord here and bring you up to this lovely screen, which is the next thing that you do once you click onto that concert B flat hexachord. Again, you've got the SoundCloud. So I've got the volume down a little bit here so you could hear what this recording is going to be kind of like. But if you need to do some work in this assignment, say that it's a practice or a playing assessment, then you are actually going to want to click on this Start Assignment button, which you can only get to if you've already clicked into this. And it's going to bring up for you the wonderful mixer. First of all, yeah, is this a teacher's assignment or a personal project? You can do either or, but for me, Mr. Windsor, who has to mark your stuff, could you please do the teacher's assignment version of things? Here we go, getting straight in, loading, and I'm just going to move my face so you guys can see all the wonderful things in here. Now, one of the first things it's going to ask you is to allow you to use your microphone. Again, this will happen either on your phone or on a computer. Doesn't matter which you use your Bandlab with. You can do it on the phone, on a computer. Either way, you still need to give Bandlab access to your microphone so that it can actually record the sounds you're producing. So you always click allow. But let's just say that you got a little click happy and you ended up saying, never mind, I want to block it. Then it's going to give you a little warning somewhere in your browser, just like way up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that and we're actually going to turn it on. All you have to do is click on that lovely little lock icon and it'll turn it on for you. You could then turn it on, I should say, instead. And so there we go. I have now given it permission. Now it's going to ask to reload it because because it needs to actually get the microphone to work in there. So away we go. Okay, so this is what Bandlab, generally speaking, looks like, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that you can use. But let's keep this nice and simple for now. We'll start off with playing along with the sound. Well, that's super simple. You put the headphones on, get your instrument out, you hit the play button, and you play along. Just like so. That's crazy simple. Let's go to the next step. I want to record myself with it. And so that's where I'm going to add a track right here on the very left-hand side. Add a track. And in this particular case, you're going to add a voice or microphone. It does give you option here for instruments, but if you'll notice here, it says MIDI, which means it's going to be digital instruments. So it's not really what we're going for. We are going for a voice or mic. Now, if you happen to have a guitar or bass guitar that can plug, or if you're a pianist and you can actually plug your instrument directly into your computer or cell phone, then yeah, of course, go ahead and use these guys here. But I recommend more often than not, you're probably going to end up using the voice or microphone. And then when it comes time to record, it should give you a little bit of a click in. It's clicking you in and go kind of thing. And so now you are actually recording yourself along with that backing track, however that works. You can stop that recording at any time. You can see that it's got a little itty bitty bumps in there for me, but it is there. You could also go back and listen to yourself and see if what you did actually matches what you wanted it to do. You can also say, never mind, I want to get rid of this, and that is easily done by right-clicking and deleting, or two-finger clicking if you've got a Chromebook and deleting it, and then rewinding back to the very beginning and trying again. That's the nice thing about Bandlab. is that you get to try as many times as you need to in order to get to the point of success that you're happy with. And I always ask for you guys to do the absolute best that you can. Now, the best you can do today will not be as good as you can do in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 years from now. But I'm asking for your best for today because I want to know what you're like today so that I can know how to best teach you for to the next step. So even if you're not 100% happy because you can't, remember it's a can't yet. Always it's a can't yet. I just want to see where you are right now, and then you can show me how you're going to grow tomorrow. Okay? Now, let's say that this is actually going a little bit too fast for you. Well, then here's another option for you. You can actually slow it down. And the way that you slow it down is by changing the beats per minute. Now, if you're using one of my other pieces of music like Arikara or Renaissance Dances or whatever the case may be, whatever song it is we're doing in band, Bandlab doesn't really know how fast that song is going. And so it's assuming that it's going 90 beats a minute. So if you change it from 90 beats a minute to, say, as an example, 60 beats a minute, that's 60 like that. There we go. Then basically what you've done is you've made it 2/3 of the speed. Or if you want to make it 1 1/3 of the speed, then you can bring it up. So it's like a percentage kind of thing, although it's kind of awkward that way unless you're really good with fractions and math. But let's just say that we want to actually slow this lovely guy down, and I'm going to slow him down to like 76 random beats per minute. What it's going to do is as soon as I hit the enter button, it's going to say, are you ready to stretch this? Yeah, go ahead and adjust it. Pardon me. And now it will have slowed the whole thing down. And it still sounds pretty good. Actually, Bandlab's done a really good job of making it so that even if you slow it down, it sounds pretty okay, and you can certainly work with that. Let's say 76 is too slow. You can, of course, speed it all the way up. Whoops, I'm not quite done there. Apparently, you could drag it. I just learned that just now doing this video. You can drag it to the speed that you want it to be. And let's adjust this. And now it's going to be faster. And so on and so forth. You have all of these options available to you. You also have a tuner or a metronome that you can use for counting in. Again, that really is only going to work with the ones that Mr. Windsor makes, not necessarily with the other recordings. And so all of these different tools are available to you to use in here if you would like. Now, here's the extra added bonus. If you really wanted to make your own music, you could certainly do that in Bandlab as well. You can add all sorts of crazy things in here. And I'll show you that in a second. But before I do that, I should also make sure I bring your attention to one very important spot. It's this lovely little submit button. As soon as you are done recording your stuff and you are happy with how you sound, keep in the back of your head, even if you can't get the volume proper or something like that, I can always mute this track so that when I am listening to you, let's do a quick little demonstration. Record. Here we go. And and here we go. That was my lovely little recording. If I can't hear your stuff over top of the original sound, I can always mute the original sound when I'm listening to your stuff, and then. Okay, well, it didn't really pick up the audio very well, which is probably a good example then. Then I can actually hear just your stuff. And that way I know exactly how well you're doing and what I can do to help you improve from here as well. But always, always hit the submit button. If you don't hit that submit button, I don't get it, and then I don't get to do the mark for you from Bandlab. And as I have made it as a habit now, if you do something in Bandlab as a playing assessment for me in Bandlab, you don't have to do it in class. If you don't do it in Bandlab, then you will have to do it in class for me eventually. So it's kind of up to you how you guys want to do that. But don't forget to hit that submit button. I'm not going to hit the submit button for this person because this person's going to do their own recording instead. So I am actually going to get rid of this track, but I do want to show you something else that you could do. This is just for fun now. This is no longer part of an assignment. I can add tracks. I can add drum machines to this, and I can make some really interesting sounds with these, with these drum machines. So let's bring up that drum machine and see what it looks like. It's not bringing it up. Hang on. Drum machine. Work with me here, machine. I want more of you. Okay, well, it's not showing me. Oh, there it is. That's where I had to click. Drum machine right there. So I can make myself a little drum machine. I can play what the pattern's going to be like. You can make your own music with that. You can do the same thing with the bass guitar and with other MIDI instruments. You can have a lot of fun here in Bandlab if you want to. And then just create your own stuff. Share it with Mr. Windsor for some extra fun marks and such. And yeah, that kind of covers that. So this is Bandlab in a nutshell. If you have any questions about how all that works, feel free to send me a message by way of email or by way of a message in Google Classroom. Any one of those will work perfectly fine. But that is all there is to Bandlab. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial video, and I hope it was helpful to you. If I went too fast, you can always go back and hit play and pause and all that good stuff. See what you need to know for Bandlab. Thank you very much. Have a great day.